Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Hello, surprise, surprise. Hello, Adam, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you for being here this morning. Right? Yeah, so I personally don't know exactly, as always, why the pull or why the narrative to come in. I just do what I'm asked to do. So we're gonna deliver a beautiful collective message this morning. That's about all I know right now is why I'm here on a Thursday. Normally I don't show up on Thursday, so there's got to be a reason. When I get the poll to come on, and then I get directive of, you know, how things are going to be today. So I'm going to deliver a beautiful collective message. I do know that much, so I have no idea what's going to happen or what's going to come in. I am going to be giving away a reading as well. That reading will not be done till the end of things, and we'll open up a little bit here for, you know, a few readings. Yeah, so let's get started here. I'm going to go ahead and call in the quarters. I already called in the quarters, but we're going to do it again as they are asking me to do it again as we all sit here together. So we're going to do this here together and we'll get started, all right? So here we go. Grandmothers of the West and guardians of the West, I send my voice. Lend unto me your voice. Thank you. Grandfathers of the South and guardians of the South, I send my voice. Lend unto me your voice. Thank you. Grandmothers of the East and guardians of the East, I send my voice. Lend unto me your voice. Thank you. Grandfathers of the North and guardians of the North, I send my voice. Lend unto me your voice. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I hear you. This is the only other one. Okay, here we go. Let's go. All right. You guys happy? All right. As long as they're happy, I'm happy. Let's see what this collective is. Let's see what's going down and why I'm here and why you're here. Resourcefulness. All right. So there's a lot of resources that you have. Now, this is very interesting because they keep on showing me the Fibonacci sequence and the life sequence and water. A lot of water. Water keeps coming up a lot, and I don't think it's because all the time is that we need to drink more water, because at this point in time, if I drink any more water, I'm going to fucking become water. All right. And I kind of like my physical form right now. I don't want to become just water. All right. I like the makeup of all of it mixed together. So to me, this is always talking about water is life, okay? And they're talking about the elements and connecting with the spirits of water. They're also connecting this to the spirit of transmutation and alchemy when they use a lot of water energy, okay? Because it's the cleansing process. Water is life. Mother Gaia, that water holds imprints. And if you want to get close to Mother Gaia and know what's going on in other places and in the world, they're telling us to get closer to water, because you can read the imprints of water. Water has been all over this planet. It comes from the oceans, and then it comes into the rivers, and it comes into the bays. And in my native language, a lot of women and a lot of villages would build their areas next to rivers, not only for fishing, but to have communication of the waters. Because with the water flowing down, they would be able to communicate with the water just like they did with plants, the rivers, the plants, the trees, okay? And they would know what was going on in a village further up north from them before somebody could even communicate to them of whatever it was, because it's the water that holds imprints. So they're talking to me here about the resourcefulness and the resourcefulness of water. Okay, and not just about drinking water, but what the water signifies. Water signifying spirit, communication with spirit. It's also signifying the rebirthing process, washing it away, washing off a lot of residual, unearthly energies that no longer serve our bodies. So it's not just about drinking water, it's about this rebirthing process and this energetic cleanse as a whole, as a unity that the collective is going through. No matter whether you're spiritual or not, it doesn't matter. There are many spiritual people out right now that are going through the process of dismantling the ego in a sense and transcending with it. So this is a lot of life force energy is what they're saying that's coming up in this due process. So that's why a lot of people are emotional too during this Mercury retrograde. My guides have kind of given me the significance, and yes, we understand and understand that that was not the moon that was going in front of it. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it jump behind the sun and then head northeast. So I'm telling you what, that's ain't no eclipse I've ever seen in my entire life. But what I will tell you is that was no moon that went in front of that. That was an energetic transformation that needed to happen. And a lot of you got sick after that eclipse. And there's a reason why for that is because your body was purging. Your team was purging. And so some of you are coming out of that due process right now, not understanding what's going on with your bodies. And you should be grateful and you should be thankful. And here's why. Not everybody could feel that energy of the eclipse. You're blessed. And so you have an interconnectedness to something that other people don't have. And while you're suffering through the headaches and while you're going through the purging process and the defecation and all of these different changes that are coming up inside of you, please say thank you. And it's not about drinking more water. It's about using water as a resource, as life as a whole, speaking to it, drinking it, then using it to cleanse many different energies. You can also commune with the water and where you live to see what's going on in your area. Okay, so they're really talking about the life force energy and the transition of the life force energy that's inside of you. A lot of you are coming to see things in a new perspective, in a new light, and this is why a lot of you are going through the tower moments or the realizations that you are and what you're having right now. So when you had that energetic switch in a sense, okay, that was a lot more life force energy that can come in that is available at your fingertips, and they really want you to use your resourcefulness and get closer to water through this emotional process. It's not always about drinking more water when you get the signification or the metaphor of water coming up, okay? A lot of the times it could be because they want you to integrate water in a different way into your resourcefulness. How many of you put a glass of water by your bedside at night at your nightstand to transmute the negative energies that are trying to come in while you're astral traveling and sleeping? Probably not many. How many of you have glasses of water around your home to actually absorb that negative energy so that it doesn't bombard the house of your creator, your understanding, your magic? So these are things that they're asking you to do to get closer to water. Okay, it's about being able to become one with. And so a lot of us have actually mastered a lot of different elements, and to become what you want to become, it's not just about mastering one, it's about mastering all the elements inside of you. And a lot of people master fire first. It's one of the easiest things to work with. It's one of the easiest doshas, okay, to literally master inside of you, right? It's that anger process, right? It's that transmutation of that passion, of that anger, of that dis-ease, of that unfaithfulness or that disbelief in self, right? That trust. So now you guys are learning how to master water. For those of you that have already mastered water and already mastered this, they're taking you through another due process of being able to commune with the energetic imprint of water, of where it's been. Maybe some of you are going to start and transcribe and receive messages from water, because that's how my tribe used to do it, and a lot of the women in my tribe would. So this is where you guys are becoming very resourceful in what you're using and what you're doing. Yes, I will post this for you guys on YouTube later. I haven't posted one of the lives on YouTube in a while, but I'll post this one on YouTube, okay? Now, yeah, exhaustion, you guys are being leveled up. So a lot of people keep talking about these time jumps and time jumps and time jumps, okay? Now, what I want you guys to remember is that when you are time jumping, it's a linear process, okay? All right? What you guys are doing, it's not necessarily jumping, okay? It's that your body is in two places and at the same time simultaneously, and you're now really starting to feel that. Okay, your body may be one place, but your body might want to do one thing, but your subconscious and your mind wants to do another. And that's because that's the split that you guys are starting to feel, okay? So this timeline of this back and forth that you're doing, okay, you're exerting more energies, but what we're getting ready to do as a collective whole is quantum to the next multiverse of disc. Okay, and so what they're showing me here is that you guys aren't necessarily time jumping as much as you are spreading yourselves thin in different places at once before the exhaustion, in a sense, comes up. That you guys are literally then jumping into the next platform of the multiverse, is what they're showing me. So it's like work with water to go through this rebirthing process, this cleansing process. Yes, of course, it's always about drinking water, but if I drink any more water at this point in time, I'm going to become water. So they're asking me to use water in a different way. Reading water. Reading water is very big in a lot of different backgrounds and cultures because you can read water just like you can read tea, just like you can read smoke or read incense. So maybe your guides and not only Creator and Mother Gaia are trying to get you closer to water to learn the energetic imprints. But what if that's something that you are supposed to be stepping into as a skill or a directive? And this is why they're telling you to start and put glasses of water by your nightstand, because spirit communes with water, but also that water will trap negative energies. Okay, so they're asking you to become one. You guys are getting ready to be exalted. All right, is what they're saying. Look, you got fortune on the bottom, and I want to make something clear. When you have a lot of tarot readers and you have a lot of psychic mediums as a collective that are coming in, and they're talking about a lot of different blessings that you're going to be receiving and a lot of different things that you're going to be receiving, it's because of the fact is that there's a bigger collective picture that's going on here. And so that bigger collective picture that's going on here is just pay attention to the structures around you that are starting to fall away, right? So you're being exalted in a different way. Pay attention to those structures, all right? Because you guys have been making many decisions in your decision-making process. So a lot of you guys are like watching, and I'm just going to be honest because of what they're telling me. A lot of you guys are watching the financial system. A lot of you know that Trump just signed us into the brinks. I don't care what side you're on. They're all playing a role. They're all playing a part. They're all none of my favorites by any means whatsoever. The only one that is the Creator in my team, and I'll tell you that right now. Because what they're showing me is everybody's playing a role and everybody's playing a part. Trump just signed us into the BRIC system, which is the gold standard process, which is basically getting everything switched over. So this is the long game of chess, and he wanted to implement Sahara last, and he couldn't, and he got mad, and he got pissed off from my understanding. So now he signed us into the BRIC system, which is the exact same process and pricing as the gold standard, okay? And so it's a part of playing the chess game. So a lot of you guys are trying to make financial decisions and stuff like that, okay, is what they're telling me right now. And they're like, you don't really have to do anything. Do not allow the fear to actually fuck with your head and think you that you're going to be left out or lost of anything, okay? Because if I have said, and I have made prediction before, and it is on my page, and I might put it on my story today just to make sure that people are understanding what's going on in a completely different spiritual way. We are transcending to a whole new evolution of a process here. And so it's not going to be the fiat dollar. It's not going to be crypto. It's not going to be any of that. They have shown me a gold coin for a really long time, and people are like, Stella, that's an energetic exchange. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's a physical gold coin with the number 1 on it. And I want you to know that I think that this is the process of what they've been showing me of us going to that. And I made that prediction and saw that back in 2022 when nobody was talking about it. And there is a man that is backing a woman here, but it's the woman that's on the forefront of creating this is what I saw. And it's a man that's backing the woman in doing this. And I don't know if it has to do with the Kennedys and stuff like that or something else, okay, through this process. I am unsure of that yet. I don't have that. I don't play into politics like that, but I do get shown bigger pieces of that. So they're showing me this is part of the chess game. There's nothing that you have to do. It's going to be a very smooth transition because you already know what's going on. There is no fear, but the people are going to do the same thing again. They're going to bring up all that fear. They're going to bring all this, all that. Do you understand the things that are going to occur are things that have been prophesized for a long time already? And it's for good reason. It's because everything that is unhealthy, that is not part of that slavery rhetoric is going to come to the front line. So we are no longer being enslaved in many different ways. This is a part of that process. So your decision-making process right now might be a little confused, and people might think you're kind of eccentric right now in what you're believing and what you're seeing and how you're like, listen, I'm not playing into any of it. Because people are like, aren't you worried? Aren't you this? Aren't you that? And you're like, listen, I just know that the chess game's being played for me. okay? And you are to go with the flow of it, go with the ease of it. It's going to be something beautiful, and it's going to be a very easeful transition. I have been told that from day one with the Creator. Whatever the transition that is to come, it will be an ease of transition, especially for those of us that know what's going on. So you're going to see the same eccentricity, which is talking about the fear rhetoric and the fear mongering coming out again, but with the whole entire financial system. So that's what they're giving me here. But you guys this is part of the exaltation of being exalted into a new multiverse, and we are about to take a quantum shift as the collective. And of course, they've been keep talking to me about the gateway, and the gateway that they keep talking to me about is the 20th of this month through the 25th. So you can take that back to your team and figure out what it means for you. But here we go. Here's this last piece here out of this one. Yeah, man. Oscientation, which means forward progress, yo. Oscientation, it's like the chariot, forward progress, okay? It's the balance. And this is beautiful because I love numerology and I love numbers. I hate math. I don't do math. I suck at math. I haven't been good at math my entire life, but I'm fucking great at numbers. I know that'll make sense to you. That needs to make sense to you. The four here is about protection and about foundation and about using your foundational resources of what you have, okay, to use it for you. Okay, this is talking about that alchemizing of that energy. So that's the 4, okay? You've got the 2, the exaltation, which is the balancing. You know, when you see the 6 of Pentacles, it's that give and take, right? Where the last become first and the first become less because of the transitions that we're going through. And that's the balance of the exaltation with the 2 here. The 3. The 3s actually solve your 2s. The 3s are about mind, body, and soul. The 3s are about forward momentum, forward progress, because the 3s solve your 2s when it comes to this. So this is the answer, your decision making. You have to remain still and know that you are playing a chess game. And it's for real, is what was just said. The 2 before that is the balancing act of the knowing and the belief, okay? The belief is the biggest thing in spirituality. Because when you come to a shaman and you're working with their ancestors, it is the belief in the shaman of the spirits and the work that the spirits are doing through that vesicle, which is the vehicle and the vessel that is doing that work. So there's nothing stronger than the belief of geese and spirit, okay, doing that work. So this is about that belief in that self and the belief of standing still and standing true in your knowings, right? This is the 3s solving the 2s. So sitting still and being the observer and not making any move and knowing that you're playing a chess game and knowing that you're going to be brought through it and knowing that it's going to be a smooth transition for you too is the process of that, right? So then you have the oscientation, which is another 2. That's the balancing act of the forward move, the forward progress. So the chariot is moving forward because you're coming into another balancing act, which is a blessing or a miracle or you receiving what you deserve or those inheritances, those types of things that have been hidden from you. A lot of the inheritances that people speak about is because of that red letter bondage on the back of your social security card. And if you have more than one name because you've been married, you've been sold twice. So you may actually have more money coming to you in that due process system. So I want you to know that there's forward movement and oscientation, okay? And that's going to balance out this next move is what Spirit is saying, because here's the chess move. That's you playing your chess move. Then there's forward momentum. A lot of you did not fall into the normal rhetoric of the fear-mongering that was going on. A lot of you knew better, but a lot of you fell through that process is what they're telling me here. And this is where God wanted to show you the real prophets, is what was just said. God wanted to show you those that are fear-mongering through the process are part of the unconscious collective. So Creator just wanted to show you guys that it was bringing those people to the forefront just to watch them fall and drop, because how many of you people now believe them? None, because the truth and the authenticity is in everything. So this is where you're going to see the real prophets rise, is what Creator is saying here. And the others will fall to their demise. Yeah, adaptability. The best thing that you can do right now is remain adaptable to all that you are going to be moving through. This is a beautiful process. You know, when you know the level of insertion is what they're saying here, and exertion. So where to insert yourself and where to exert yourself, exit yourself, and not play in is what they're telling me here. So this is the adaptability of the Gemini energy, okay? That like sometimes you guys, you might think it for a second, but then your body goes, that's not it. So you're like, oop, I'm out. You know what I mean? So this is really huge. Thank you, Frankie. How are you, sir? It's nice to see you. And so this is part of that adaptability. And that, look, the 10 of Cups, man, you're going to be so emotionally fulfilled, and it's going to be a big celebration. It's not even funny because you went through the process of the humiliation ritual on every level and every... Okay, thank you. On every level and through every devil. So the remaining adaptable is going to be the best thing that you can do through these different transitions, not only inside of you, but outside of you, because everything you have to remember is for you. Even when you think you're losing, you're actually winning. It's just you learning how to play the game. And remember, the knowledge turning into wisdom is because you learned what not to do. The only reason that they're telling you to use that wisdom, you have the wisdom, is because you've learned what not to do. And the wisdom is the fool. Talking the talk, walking the walk, and implementing what you have learned and putting it into your wisdom. Wisdom is the act of taking that knowledge and doing something with it, is what they're saying here. So literally, all of that knowledge that you have learned in the past 1, 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, it's now time to turn that into wisdom and actually put that foot forward and start doing something physical, but remaining adaptable at the same time. The 10 of Cups. Everything is always changing. Everything is always moving. That is the only way the energy works. But which way you choose to make it go or make it flow is up to you, and the divine process of how it moves through you is what they're saying here. That's the 10 of Cups. Beautiful. The 6 of Swords. So we know that the 6 of Swords normally represents somebody doing something different, and they're protected and they're moving away from everything that they have. This is a mental process, okay? This is a mental process that you're moving through. You're moving out of that fear state, false evolution appearing real. You're moving out of that fear state, okay? And that fear state is like, no, I know what's up. So you're battling, you were almost, in a sense, what they're showing me is that you were coming to terms with certain parts of your ego that may have feared something, but now you have released and let go. And that's what they're showing me here by the 6 of Swords in this process right now. My team said naked and afraid, so like you were naked because you were just like burying your soul. Because when you bring those fears up to the subconscious, the conscious realizes how kind of like silly they are. But it's you being in that childlike state. So they said naked and afraid, right? So like you were burying like the fruits of your fears, okay? And don't tell me you guys didn't have those thoughts, because I can hear them, right? So like you may have had those thoughts, but your body told you differently, and your body told you to react differently. That is another state and level of awareness, okay? So the Christ consciousness is aware of oneself, aware of others, and aware of all things, all right? And that is the Christ consciousness. And so they're telling me right here that this is where you actually moving through that fear actually puts you in another level of Christ consciousness, because you became more aware of your body and different levels of your process, okay? The Ace of Pentacles, man. This is a whole new foundational physical like being. You have to remember that the earth element is made up of fire, water, and air. So it's you mastering all of those doshas and those abilities inside of you. And when I say mastering those energies, because there's a lot of new people in here, okay, and I want to explain what I mean by that. Okay, all of those elements have different energies that are attached to them, but you are made up of those energies inside of you. Okay, doshas are different energies that are made up inside of you, all right? And there are different ones, and those elements is what they pertain to inside of you. So that's what I'm talking about here when I talk about doshas. It's energy, and it's elemental energy. So you're working through the process of mastering the air, the fire, the water, okay? Which is the ego. Air is like working with the ego, which is working with the soul. You're transcending the ego. You're working with your guides. You're hearing stuff. There's a lot of communication. There's a lot of divine intuition opening up. Okay. Water is actually working with spirit and an energetic exchange between you and spirit, and working with those energies of what is around you spiritually at your hand. That fire energy that you're working with is the fire that is lit inside of you, not only from ancestral, but it has a lot to do with your root chakra, your destiny, why you're here. The earth energy has a lot to do, of course, then with all of that being balanced. And this is why the Ace of Pentacles is coming out, okay? Because of the fact is that you're moving to a new awareness that is balancing you out. Remember, we had the two here. You're exalting into something new. There is a new time frame that they're telling me that you've moved to. Most of you have moved to. And it's because here, so remember, we had the two, which is the exaltation. And then we had the three, which is the decision-making process and remaining still. And then we had the oscientation, which is two as well. So these are talking about these energies becoming more balanced inside of you. One of the reasons that we went through what we went through, it's known as the Great Mayan Crossover in my lineage. It's also known as the Red Kachina and the Blue Kachina. And these are things, one of the reasons that the natives, and especially my Lakota people, would not go out because of the eclipses, because there was many things that happened during eclipse, and they saw many great things happen during the eclipse. So they didn't want to intertwine their energies because they understood that it was part of a rebirthing process as well, and it was a ceremonial piece to them as well. So this is where like you're becoming a lot more in tune with the energies around and the stillness around you. All right. What did I talk to you guys about the sacred clown, right? The sacred clown. That the sacred clown is literally, okay, about walking the walk and talking the talk and being able to back your shit up. And this is where it's like there's no games anymore. You can smell them a mile away is what my team said, because you're becoming more in tune with how spirit works with you, how the creator works with you, how these elements and these energies work with you. And you're also understanding that part of the eclipse was an ignition process. They show me like it's ginger, okay? So a lot of you that don't know herbs, ginger will accelerate any magic that you're doing, okay? Ginger is an accelerator, all right? When you use ginger in any type of abundance, healing, any type of that, it's an accelerator. And so what my team has shown me is this eclipse was an accelerator, like ginger. And it was an accelerator here to oscientate us into this new multiverse that you're moving to. There is a quantum shift that's upon us, and a lot of people won't even necessarily know that it's occurred. Things are going to look different and feel different, but they're not going to be different at the same time. So a lot of people aren't even going to be fully aware right away that they've made this process or this shift or this jump is what they're telling me here. You're going to know, I don't know, they're saying you're going to know when you know. So it's almost as if like it's almost like you're there, and then it takes like a couple of days for like the fog to clear, and then like you have the realization that you're in a new quantum shift is what they're saying here. The sacred clown, like I said, it's about walking the walk and talking the talk. That and wisdom is the knowledge that you've learned. Put it into physical practice here. All right. That's absolutely beautiful. I'll see what I've got going on the list, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, mods, as well. All right. And we're going to get down and dirty here. Thank you. That was really annoying. Why, but that was. The vocals were bothering me. One of my favorite songs, man. Alright, cool. That's my jam, man. Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah, if you guys are not members over there on that website, it's free. Go become a member, man. Because pretty soon I'll just be going live from YouTube and live from my website over there. So if you guys want to jump in there, please do so. All right. That's been in the process for a few weeks now. So here we go.
Everywhere I see a stress, wonder what we gonna lose next. Well, it won't be sweet love, 'cause it's my lesson, it's my teacher, Malcolm X or Martin Luther, and I am neither. Perfect world, what is this? Does it even exist? And would I live there? I can learn to be
I've got Denise in for a full, Althea in for a half, and Wick in for a half. So we're going to start there, guys. All right, take what you need, but please give back what you take in some sort of fashion, form today, whether that is you sit with yourself after all these things and these pings that you guys get, or you go and you teach it and you whiz by like Dragonfly and go teach it somewhere else. So please take what you need, heal yourself, and help others heal too through the messages that you guys see and feel and ping today from. Alright. Yeah, we're going to use that one. That's what I thought, but I didn't know. Alright. Alright, so we're going to start off with D here, but D, they've got me going backwards. They're making me work backwards, so nothing new to me. I've been working backwards since the day I was born, so here we go. I hear you. Dude, that's dope. What's coming in the next 3 days? Beautiful. We're sandwiching something up here. That's all I know, Denise. We're just sandwiching something up here, my dear. There we go. This is a lot here because there's a lot that's going to tie into this, especially for you, because I don't think that you understand what you're moving into is what's being said here. So right now you're at this pinnacle of justice, okay? So last week, okay, the first is when we, of course, had Mercury retrograde start. So, like, you feel the amping up. So it's like the first week. So now you're on this peak, right? And there's about to be justice that I don't know if you know, I'm going to clarify, but I don't know if you know that you're going to know this. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's almost like you're going to receive justice, but it's going to be behind the scenes. So there's karma that is being delivered to those that did wrong you, is what's being said here, because this eclipse enacted a lot of that karma, because it's all new. And so a lot of their karma is coming in, where you're receiving a lot of justice for the things that you've been, is what was just said here. So this is the balancing act, right, that's coming in. This is not your normal tarot where it's all about juggling and balancing all these different things at once. This is really about it being very smooth sailing. If you can see, he has the infinity symbol that he's actually skating on down here, all right? And that's actually this type of energy that always supposed to be yours is what's being said, right? So because others got... When Spirit says, like, somebody took something away from you, I want you guys to understand what that means. It's because of the fact is that you allowed somebody else to cause you some type of disbelief or some type of regret or some type of shame, and you gave your power away. It's a lineage of sacrifice to take your power back, people. It's no joke. And if you go to my welcome page, that is one of the very first statements I've ever had since I started this business 5 years ago. And I am telling you that is a lineage of sacrifice to take your power back. And that's because of the fact is that we give it away. Okay, we give it away and we don't realize we give it away. And because that you gave it away in a sense, this is actually something that you've always supposedly have had the adaptability to have or receive or do, is what they're telling me here specifically for you, Denise. Now, it's like this is really giving me the energy of rushing in. I am going to pull more clarification on that justice card as I just get through here, though. So we've got friendship that's here, right? So this is what you need to know, all right? The justice and the two of pentacles is where you're at. There's a lot of justice on your behalf that is happening right now behind the scenes, but there is justice that's coming in for you, is what they're showing me here with those two cards. We've got the friendship and the negotiation card and the assertion card. This is actually big, all right? Because you're being asked to assert yourself in your friendships. If you feel like something's off, they want you to say it. If you don't feel like something's right, they want you to say it. You are being called to assert yourself in your truth, in your belief, and not your mistrust. Okay? So it's really about learning how to negotiate with these energies. It's almost as if, like, when you're doing something that you don't want to necessarily do, it throws your chakras out of alignment. Well, when you feel like something is not true, and you feel that inside of you and you don't say anything, it's the same type of energy that's going on. So they're really asking you to assert yourself. Now, there is somebody that is in your life that I do see, and this is not in your family dynamic in your home. They're showing me the barn. They're showing me that there is a friendship that is going to try to insert itself into your rhetoric or into your circle, is what this is telling me. Some type of friendship is going to try to insert itself. This is stuff that you need to know that's going to happen in the next week or two before you go. So, now, they want you to say what you need to say in those different friendships, but there's also somebody who is literally going to come in and try to negotiate with you and assert themselves into your relationship, is what's being said. The blue heron is here, so there's some type of reference or some type of understanding that you need to achieve, as the representation here of the blue herring is what they're showing me. There is negotiation coming for you as well in a business dynamic. I just don't know what that seed is that's going to be sown, but they are talking here about Jupiter. Now, today is Thor's Day. For those of you that do not know, it's Thursday, Thor's Day. Today is the luckiest day of the week, and if you guys want to manifest some shit, today's a great day to manifest shit. Just saying. The Five of Swords is in reverse here. This is somebody that you're not going to trust. So there's going to be this feeling of distrust when this person tries to insert themselves into your friendship dynamic, is what they're telling me here. The negotiation here. Give me this negotiation here in this process. Thank you. They're not going to give me shit. There's really a reflection phase that you're going to have to go through to see what you're going to do with it, is what's being said here. This is what's coming for you in the next week or two. Now, this is going to make you feel a certain type of way when this type of friendship inserts itself, when you start and speak your truth of what you may not feel is right, is what they're saying here. But also, you're going to have this negotiation from a business standpoint that comes in. This is a lot to sift through, is what's being said here. This is a blessing in disguise, okay? The Ten of Swords represents a blessing in disguise. It's almost as if, like, you're going to think that this is something bad, but it's actually, or something with your demise, but this negotiation is actually something good for you, okay? Because normally in the Rider-Waite Tarot, this is what the Ten of Swords looks like in this one, but in the Rider-Waite Tarot, he's laying on the ground with this hand behind him, and he's actually holding a blessing. Those swords are actually energies and a lot of communication that's coming in. It's almost like the death card again, right? There's nowhere to go but up, and it's a blessing in disguise, right? This blessing in disguise is going to make you have a choice, okay? So that's the Two of Swords. It's going to make you have a choice. You planted these seeds a long time ago, is the representation of the Seven of Pentacles here. It's almost as if, like, whatever it is that you planted, you're still working on. It's not a process that you have started and stopped. It's something that you're still working on here. And you've got the World card. So this is actually your transition that is coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks for you, is what they're showing me. After these negotiations, after these friendships are shown to you, don't forget the blue heron, is what they're telling me. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, D. I appreciate you. All right, I've got Althena and then Wick. Yeah, I'll check that. I heard you. All right. I've got Jamie and April. All right. To add. All right. Hold on 1 second here. Let me write that down so my brain doesn't forget. Mm. All right. I gotta change this up. My bad, guys. All right. All right, Miss Althena. Here we go. Well, there you go. There it is. Live your life, Miss Althena. That's for you. All right.
Everybody right here. What you need to do is be thankful for the life you got, you know what I'm saying?
That's nice.
What you ain't got, start being thankful for what you do got. Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey.
All right. You clarifying that? Got it. Okay. So the main things that are coming up for you right now in your auric field and in your energy is resistance in some type of process, and also the romance here. There's almost as if like there's a romance that is about to take a different position, and it's not a bad thing. It's almost as if like there's more of a coming together, more of an emotional connection that's going on here. There's more communication that's going to be transpiring because you're learning more how to communicate on an energetic level is what they're telling me here, especially through this Mercury retrograde. You're really trying to, okay, thank you. You're really trying to pull away from how certain words make you feel, is what they're telling me here. And this is a big deal, especially in your relationship, because it's almost allowing the relationship to move to new communication heights, all right? Now, the resistance here. The resistance is you being in the Six of Wands, all right? So the resistance that you're feeling, because there's some type of resistance in yourself personally here that they're showing me, that is literally putting on the Six of Wands, which means you will have victory over this, but it's almost like when you come to a tower moment or an awareness, this resistance is going to release, and that's going to be the Six of Wands energy here. And, you know, people just don't understand Gen X, you know? We're like the last generation of FAFO, and I seriously mean that wholeheartedly. All right, this is the Ace of Cups that's coming out here. This is the new emotion. Thank you. I love you guys too. This is the new emotional process that's coming for you when you move through this resistance. So, like, there's resistance within you physically about what to do or how to handle a situation or something. And that resistance that you're feeling inside of you is because you don't have an answer of clarity yet. Okay? And when you don't have an answer of clarity yet, you make no move at all. You wait till you get the answer of clarity to make the move. That is the Six of Wands energy. Oops, that's coming through there. All right? Now, we're going to pull more on this romance, but they're showing me some smaller things in between here, Althena, that's going on. I feel like you tried to do something a different way in your relationship, and it didn't work for you because the energy didn't respond the way that you wanted it to respond, right? Or the way that you thought it would respond is what they're telling me here. That's the Three of Swords energy. But this is actually moving you into a new level of emotion for yourself. more devotion for yourself. It's almost helping you realize, in a sense, because I do have the reference here with the Three of Swords of the Hawk, which is telling me that you're seeing more clearly, you're seeing more true because of this resistance and this situation happening in your personal relationship. So it's actually pretty that this is really coming out, because it's actually a beautiful process that I'm picking up on, Althena, with the understanding of the resistance that you're moving through. It's Yeah, I understand that for sure. I got you, Denise. I see you. So, I got you, Denise. I love you. So, when we're sitting here, this is literally the Ace of Cups, the Three of Swords that's coming out. And this is because of the fact is that the Three of Swords is showing you what you thought was going to work, and it didn't work on the level of communication that you expected it to. So you've got the Three of Swords. It had to do with communication. It had to do with words. It had to do with your emotions because of the expectation, right? Well, that's actually not such a bad process, because it's actually moving your relationship to a different height of communication with the Prince of Swords there. And now there's this new emotion that's inside of you that's actually beautiful. With this Ace of Cups, you're really starting to realize how you're not going to hang on to expectations or others' words or promises or other type of words that may quote unquote trigger you. You're really trying to work through that emotional process, and there is resistance there to working through that process, okay? The Queen of Cups, dude, you can't make this up. This is literally what's coming for you if you choose to do this and remove the feeling process of how certain words make you feel, okay? Because when certain words make you feel a type of way, it's literally teaching you something about that. So this is where you are commanding, and you are becoming more stout in your emotions, okay, of what's going on. And this is a beautiful process because you're mastering your emotions, you're mastering your energy. This is the resistance, though, that you're fighting inside of you, too, at simultaneously. You've got a lot of things going on, you know, because there's resistance to you because you feel like you're giving in. It's like the warrior inside of you feels like they're, like, surrendering, you know, and like they're giving up. But that's exactly what you need to do, is surrender through this process, because it's going to show you emotionally how much you attach. Thank you. How much you attach your self-worth and emotion to certain words. And how that's played a part on this disbelief and this distrust in yourself. So you're moving through a very deep process right now, especially with the Mercury retrograde process about relationships and communication and relationships with self. So this is huge. This is beautiful for you, Althena. Thank you, thank you. All right, Whit, here we go. All right, mods, we're going to close that list for me. I greatly appreciate it. All right. Hold on, wait, because this is funny, because some shit just went down, and this is not like, it's like right now. Okay, so what this is, for whatever reason, it's right now. There's devil energy that's around you, and this literally just happened. So we're going to remove this process really quickly, because we already know what's going on. Okay, there's the eye that's behind you. All right, so I just want you to know that that's going on right now. That's why that energy came out. This has nothing to do with beginning or end, except for it's going to end here real quick. Yeah, I feel it. I got you guys. So here, in this place and in this space, I want you to know that this is in your auric field, right? Now, there is a merger with your higher self that you have going on here. There's a... They said a coming to Jesus, which is absolutely hilarious, which is like coming more into your Christ consciousness, your Christ body. Now, when I say this, you're very cosmic, and you hold a very cosmic frequency. But for your job here is what they're showing me in this physical realm. Your job here is literally about you merging with your human self. And it's almost as if like the cosmic energy has tried to overrule, in a sense, the groundedness through different types of human processes, is what they're giving me here. And what they're showing me is that, like, now it's really about you coming into your deeper femininity, not being able to use certain types of things as an excuse because you're aware of them. So you have, like, healed a deeper level of the subconscious rhetoric, is what they just said here. That was a big word for you, wasn't it? Yeah, I know. Human words, man. Okay. So, listen, there's some type of innovation. There's some type of clarity that your higher self is trying to give you. There's some type of, how do I say this appropriately? With what they're showing me, I'm trying to figure out how to put it into words. Okay. The eccentricity of your cosmic self is beautiful because it's you and your higher self trying to integrate an innovation that they're wanting you to do or pull into you. And so this is why the coming into and the communication with your higher self is so important right now. It's because you're innovating yourself with your higher self in a deeper level, in a deeper way, where you've almost fully healed your subconscious, okay, is what they're showing me. This is talking about you being very eccentric in the energy work that you do. And how are you going to process this energy in a physical human way in your light body, is what they're showing me. They're showing me where there's a lot of energy that's coming out of you, but it's coming out of your solar plexus, it's coming out of your left hand, your right hand, your eye, your, you know what I'm saying, your sacral, your feet at the same time, certain meridians, it's coming out of your body. And they're actually showing me that they're trying to get you to get a hold of these different ways that this energy is coming out of you, so you could fluidly, single-handedly pull it into you from one space and push it out of you, so it's a more controlled process. It's almost like controlling the energy of air, okay, is what they're showing me here. But they're telling me that there's some type of innovation here that you and your higher self are working on creating together. You've got the master number 11 twice here. And so you having the eccentric cosmic body that you do and the cosmic awareness that you do is actually going to allow this eccentricity to come out, which is going to innovate something that you and your higher self do, in a sense, together. That was pretty. Thank you. They're giving me the Pisces fish here. All right, so they're showing me the Pisces fish. Yeah. Okay. There is submission here. Like, I feel like you don't think something's possible, but the door is open and it's possible. I hope that makes sense. It's like you're not looking behind you. It's like you're looking in one direction, but you're not looking the opposite direction, and you don't see something that is plausible. Now, this devil card, to me, when this came out, it's talking about two different things. They're taking the devil card and they're relating it back to this Two of Cups and this indecision making through this process. The process of you not looking behind you, in a sense, of seeing what other doors or resources are open to you, is what they're showing me. It's almost like you're looking this direction, but you don't think something's plausible. That's the devil energy playing on you. It's you defeating yourself, thinking that something's not plausible, that you aren't going to be able to pull something off, okay? This is part of the innovation that's coming through you, and I didn't even realize that there was a card that was flipped over here. Look, in the deck, you see it? What is it? Excitement. That's hilarious. This is the Tower as well to me, okay? Because of the Tower that's back here. There's a lot of excitement brewing. There is a Tower moment for you. I think this Tower moment, too, has something to do with you physically getting proof as well that you were right about some blessing or some miracle or something that's occurring. So I want you to know that there's a lot of excitement. It's almost like this submission and this realization of you actually not thinking that this is plausible, that you can do it. The door's open for you to do it. You have that realization, that tower moment. It breeds excitement. This is the innovation that's going to come out of you with this merger of this higher self that you're going to do. Look, an inheritance, dude. This is huge. You can't make it up. It's a spiritual inheritance that was supposed to be yours, and you've been told that a time or two, is what I just heard. Dude. While others think that you are extreme, this is only breeding more of the divine feminine independence inside of you. So, look, you've got 3 11s here. You can't make this up. There's 3 master number, 11 master builder numbers here. This is literally the independence, okay? The extremism, stay extreme. Stay extreme, stay eccentric, okay? Because those extreme things are literally what's breeding this feminine, divine feminine independence along with you, okay? Stay classy, as always, because that's your motto, okay? I don't know. Somebody just told me that something about stay classy is like your motto. That's hilarious, all right? Stay classy, all right, is what they're showing me. But be thankful and be gracious, because it's the 3 of Pentacles. Like, it's also you getting confirmation that you're as true as they say it is, because sometimes you think they're blowing smoke up you, and they're not. So they're giving you some pretty big confirmations personally for you that they're showing me are physically going to come out for you here very, very soon. Excuse me. All right, Miss Jamie, here we go. I've got Jamie, and then I have Miss April D, and I'm out of here. Well, that was interesting. Let's get rowdy. Can we please get on with that? Thanks. That'd be great. You wanna... Because you're not playing. Okay. Like, you're not playing where I want you to. You're just... I love Mercury, and I love all these different fucking pings and energies that come in and out, man. It's a beautiful process. I don't know why Naughty by Nature is popping into my head. That's hilarious. It's been like a month since I heard Naughty by Nature. Shit. There we go. Now I feel better. That's gonna be loud. Here we go. That's hilarious. I was just saying, I don't know why, but I feel like listening to Naughty by Nature, and it's my 3rd song down on this playlist. Like, I was like, I don't know why Naughty by Nature is coming to my head, but there's a 3rd song on this playlist. That's fucking hilarious, man. That's funny, Jamie. Somebody's trying to discredit you, discount you, or call your bluff right now is the best way that I can say this. Somebody's trying to discredit you or discount you, 110%. That's the energy that's around you. This is actually giving you more power, because you're actually kind of feeding off of this. No bullshit. This is kind of... This is hot. This is hot. It's because of somebody's idealism. Like, you're here to break down the barriers of idealism, right? And so this is actually giving you great power, in a sense. Confidence, belief in self is basically what they're telling me here. The star. There's been a big transition here. So they want me to take the star card and put it underneath the power, because there's been a rapid ascension within your flower, is what was just said to me in the background. So there's been a rapid ascension within your own flower through this process of this Mercury retrograde, the eclipse energy, all of that's coming in, all right? That was interesting. They just said it's somebody... I really feel like they mean this spiritually here, Jamie, and this has nothing to personally do with you, but it has something to do with you. They're saying that somebody's trying to call your bluff, but whoever this is that is mistrust or misled, it's like their final hour, is what they just said, and they mean that spiritually, where it's like they're going to receive karma, in some type of way. All right. Somebody doesn't believe that you're going to do what you say you're gonna do. Somebody doesn't believe that you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do. There's this disbelief. Yeah, the Seven of Cups. So when other people's discredit or discount you, okay, it's going to make you question you, and it's going to give you some type of cloudiness. This is the Seven of Cups energy that's coming through. Now, the power that we have here is the Star card in the middle. This is a lot of Scorpio energy, Sag energy that's coming through as well here, okay? And this is something that you did. I don't know if you went and spent time with the eclipse or whatever that you have done through that process, but it has elevated you in a certain type of way. There's something about your energy that has changed, and I'm going to pour more into that here. But you're here to break down the barriers of idealism and what people think, right? And this is almost where you are removing the barriers of even what you think and allowing the creator to show you what you are and what you're here to do. They keep showing me the North Node, which is the North Star, which means you're in alignment here with your destiny, right? And when they say that you're in alignment with your destiny, you're in alignment to receive the clarity that you need to walk the yellow path of destiny, okay? And of course, they're following and they're relating to the yellow brick road there when they say that. Yeah, okay, thank you. So you've also had to remove and release a lot of idealism within yourself here too. This is where you've detached. You've detached from so many different things, so many different pieces of you. But the last thing that you have to detach from is time. You have to quit putting some type of time on your relevance. And this is the detachment process of the idealism of time. And you're not a robot. You weren't supposed to work the way the clock works. You're supposed to do as you feel like you truly want to do in your gut and your heart, and when you get that push to do those things. So you've had to detach from the ideologies of time, sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your energy, those types of things that we're all taught that we're supposed to do, right? So there's been a lot that you've detached from. Now, the two master numbers again that are coming out with two different 11s with two different cards. So we've got detachment here with a lot of Aquarius, emotional energy, and idealism. So a lot of emotions during this Mercury retrograde could be coming up for you. More than the eclipse. The eclipse is like an accelerator. The Mercury retrograde is doing its job exactly what it's supposed to do, which is part of that purging process that the collective as a whole needs to go through. So, Jimmy, you're not just purging things for yourself. You're purging things for the whole entire collective here, too. You know, it's a lot that's going on here that a lot of light workers are actually doing in the back seat of things, and they don't even realize how much their bodies are taking on a toll of the different energies of the collective unconscious that is waking up and the collective consciousness. So you're in two places at once. So if you feel like you need to detach from the world, okay, it's okay. Some of the reasons why you sleep so much is because you're actually transgressing through a new energy. You're literally intertwining and adapting to a new energy. So sometimes when you sleep a lot, I feel like what they're showing me is you get down on yourself and you think that you're lazy and you think that you're this or you think that you're that, when in factuality, you're not. You're overworking yourself energetically. And what we mean by that is not necessarily always mentally or emotionally, but your higher self and you, your soul, knows that you're somewhere else while you're still here trying to fight a 3D construct. That's a lot of energetic work on your body. Plus, you've got Gaia going through the transitions, the collective going through the transitions, and not to mention whoever's around you in your household. That's a lot of energetic work, especially when you're transcending into a new energy and receiving new blueprints. What I mean by that is a lot of the messages and a lot of the things that have come in through the Mercury retrograde and through the eclipse are things that you have received, information, knowledge, wisdom that you have received that is going to give you attributes through this next step that you take. Okay? So you don't even necessarily know what those things are that you're transgressing with, that you're bringing into your body and your awareness through these energetic shifts, all right? And they come up later. And so this is huge, right? Now, remaining adaptable. Now, I know that you hate that because you're like, what does that mean, right? Well, here's the deal. When we remain adaptable, we remain and we go with the flow of change. We do what we feel like we're supposed to do. This morning, I had time to show up. Creator said, Stell, I want you to show up. I said, how are we doing this? Tells me how it's going down. I'm like, I don't necessarily show up on a Thursday. Should I really? I've got other things I need to do and get done, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, I feel the pull. I've got to show up. I literally have to do what I feel like doing, and I feel like doing it. So I'm going to do that, right? This is where you're remaining adaptable. So your days are going to change. Maybe you had this planned or that planned. Well, guess what? Creator had a different plan in store for you. And that's the way you're starting to see these things and move through because of the merging that you're doing with your higher self. All right? The Queen of Swords. This is beautiful. Because when the Queen of Swords comes out, this is somebody who sees, somebody who hears, somebody who is receiving messages, but also somebody who is standing in their truth and standing in their boundaries, right? So it's almost like you're becoming more authentically, okay, thank you, more authentically you, more unapologetically you, okay? You also have the truth and the clarity to see through the different levels of things. So you know how to take a lawn chair seat, Jamie, is what you're telling me. You know how to take a lawn chair seat and you know how to observe, right? The Queen of Swords is also willing to do whatever it takes to get to the truth of things, the bottom of things. Like, even if she has to put herself in harm's way, she's willing to do that, right? That's the energy here of the Queen of Swords. Now, this is what you've been going through, and this is the detachment process, but it's also energetically giving you power, and a lot of your clairs and a lot of your gifts are moving to another level, right? If you need help with that, you know you can reach out, Jamie, through that process because it's going to get intense. The Ten of Wands. It's both a blessing and a curse, and yes, it is. To feel and hear and see and know so much, yes, it is the biggest blessing, and it can feel like a curse, but it's no curse at all when you know what you're doing and you know how to work with that energy, right? For whatever reason, I have this feeling that you think like you're going to fall, or you think that like you're not going to be able to take this risk or to do this process. And that is a disbelief. That is part of the detachment and the idealism that they're trying to get you detached from that you don't see. All right. When that Ten of Wands comes out, it's like you've got to release this emotional baggage of like all your worries. Yeah, this is bringing up conflict. So these worries is what you need to release in order to get to this Queen of Swords and this adaptability process. Release your worries, release your self-doubts. The King of Cups came out. This is about you being in full control and alchemizing all of your emotions, okay? All of them. All right. Miss April. Yeah, I know. I love you guys. Something's about to get started for you, and like there's been this big transition in the past week or two is what I'm picking up right now, and you're in the middle of a big new world is what you said. Now the World card did come out for you, but there is a big transition that has taken place upon you. Something's about to get started for you. Something's about to pick up, and this is something in your own personal life here that you've been working on or doing. So even though the transition has been tough, it's going to be worth the wait through this process. That's beautiful. They're literally relating you to the magician. You one resourceful motherfucker is literally what the team just said, okay? Like, you are one resourceful motherfucker here. Because right now, I'm hearing the Midas touch. So whatever you're touching is turning to gold. And there's nothing that you can't make that can't be borrowed or sold, is what was just said, okay? So this is, dude, the Ace of Cups. Like, you are completely in this new emotional fulfillment. You've removed the dust, is what was just said here. All right, so what's coming in here in this next 3 days? Here we go. The Eight of Swords and the Six of Cups. So there's going to be this, it's almost like you're full steam ahead, right? And I feel this energy that's full steam ahead. You've got the world, you've got the magician, you've got the Ace of Cups. It's almost time to break bread. And like, you get this energy to start, and then all of a sudden, you start questioning yourself. Listen to me very carefully when I tell you. When you get to the point where you're about to elevate and some type of blessing or some type of new that's coming in that you know about, there is going to always be some type of arrogant, egotistical energy. May not even be from your family. Could just because energies know what you're going to do. Like, when we're talking as an energy as a whole, right? And so it's like, this Eight of Swords is this energy that's coming towards you because you're about to complete something. It's almost like this energy trying to hold on to you and make you question yourself or self-doubt yourself again, right? Don't do that. That's been part of the process because you've had full steam ahead. You started something and then you stopped something because of the self-doubting process. Don't do that this time. Know that that self-doubt is merely the devil energy trying to keep you in that same loop, in that same cycle, in that same pattern. The Six of Cups here. This is about that give and take to me in that emotional energy process where it's like, you need to know when you are out of balance, it's because I don't feel like it's personally you. You really don't get out of balance anymore, Miss April. It's other energies that make you second guess yourself that get you out of balance, is what's being said here. So that Six of Cups energy is that emotional process of that exchange that I have, and I'm solidified because 6 to me is balance and harmony. I'm emotionally centered, I'm emotionally grounded. Things aren't making me feel a certain type of way. Everything's good, and then boom, all of a sudden, I've got this Eight of Swords and this restrictive process and this, energy that I feel going on. That is not you. Do not assume that energy. Become aware of it. Tell your team that it has nothing to do with you, and tell the universe to take care of it and handle it for you. All right, well, I guess that's that. The Hermit, yeah. When this is hermiting, when you've been hermiting in this hermit mode, it's time to come out of this hermit mode, and you need to really start and do what you say you're going to do in that physical process, like the physical act of building what you want to build, and the networking and stuff like that. The Hermit is here. It's like you've been asleep and quiet long enough. The Chariot's on the bottom. So look, the Chariot's on the bottom, and I just got to the Sun card. I love you. Take care of yourselves, guys, and each other. If you need me, you know where